Welcome to our channel. Today we delve into the escalating tensions in the South China Sea, where the United States and the Philippines are ramping up their defenses to counter China's encroachment in the strategic Luzon Strait. Situated between Taiwan and the Philippines, the Luzon Strait serves as a crucial international waterway, facilitating the passage of maritime traffic and trade. However, in recent years, it has also become a hotspot for geopolitical tensions as China seeks to assert its dominance over the South China Sea. The escalating tensions in the South China Sea have raised concerns among regional stakeholders and the international community. China's assertive actions, including the construction of artificial islands and the establishment of military outposts, have heightened fears of potential conflict and destabilization. In response to China's increasing assertiveness, the United States and the Philippines have deepened their security cooperation, with a focus on bolstering their presence in the Luzon Strait. Through joint military exercises and enhanced intelligence sharing, both nations are working to strengthen their maritime capabilities and deter any potential aggression. The U.S. has deployed additional naval assets to the region, including aircraft carriers and guided missile destroyers, to reinforce its commitment to upholding freedom of navigation in the South China Sea. Meanwhile, the Philippines has ramped up its maritime patrols and surveillance efforts, supported by U.S. military aid and training. As China pushes its unique sovereignty claims in the Philippine sector of the South China Sea, the Philippine military is upgrading defenses in another area of strategic interest to China, the Luzon Strait, just south of Taiwan. In a visit to the Philippines' Batanes Islands, which sit in the middle of the strait, Philippine Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro said that the region is the spearhead of the Philippines as far as the northern baseline is concerned, and that its garrison would be strengthened. The Philippine Navy described the announcement as a pivotal shift for the nation's defense posture. The Luzon Strait is a choke point for access between the South China Sea and the Philippine Sea, and China's Navy uses it to move carrier strike groups and destroyers out to the open Pacific. Access to the strait is necessary for Chinese interests in the event of a Taiwan Strait conflict. The PLA Navy could use it to threaten Taiwan's eastern shores or to maintain a cordon around the island. Conversely, the strait would be a key access point to the Taiwan Strait and South China Sea for American and Allied forces. Gilberto's announcement of plans to reinforce Batanes is the latest development in an extended back and forth between Manila and Beijing. China claims a large swath of the Philippine EEZ as its own, despite an arbitral court ruling in the Philippines' favor in 2016. Chinese forces regularly harass Philippine service members and fishermen in the Spratly Islands, and the People's Liberation Army has turned a string of reefs in the region into strategic air bases, complete with air defenses and military-grade runways. In January, Teodoro said that the armed forces of the Philippines would work to assure unimpeded access for Philippine fishermen to operate in the South China Sea, despite Chinese pressure. We are evolving into a defense concept which projects our power into our areas where we must protect and preserve our resources, he said. China is also leaning into greater confrontation. This week, a senior researcher at a Chinese think tank said that it was time for China to show our swords and defend its unrecognized maritime claims. Wu Shiqin, chairman of the Huayang Center for Maritime Cooperation and Ocean Governance, wrote that long-term peace and stability in the South China Sea cannot be achieved only by China's unilateral restraint. We will take timely action against any stirring up of trouble and dare to show our swords when necessary, Wu said in the piece, published in the nationalist state-owned outlet Global Times. To strengthen the country's territorial defense, Filipino Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro directed the military to increase the number of troops stationed at the northernmost island, specifically the remote Batanes Island. During his recent visit to the naval installations, he also called for the development of more infrastructure on the island. But here is a catch. The Batanes Islands are located just 200 kilometers, 125 miles, from Taiwan, a self-ruled island state that China considers its renegade province and wants to occupy. The announcement made by the Filipino Defense Secretary comes at a time when China and the Philippines have been locking horns in the South China Sea. The long-standing territorial disputes between the two countries have triggered confrontations between their Coast Guard ships, with fears of a potential Chinese invasion of the Second Thomas Shoal looming large over Manila. Chinese vessels regularly attempt to prevent Filipino vessels from replenishing their troops aboard the Sierra Madre warship, which was deliberately run aground several years ago and functions as a temporary Filipino outpost at the disputed shoal. After several months of confrontation at sea and bombast by Chinese authorities, the Philippines is looking to bolster its military capability and strengthen its territorial defenses. The decision to boost troops and expand infrastructure at Batanes Islands seems to be a part of that ambitious strategy. The Bashi Channel, which runs between Batanes and Taiwan, is a crucial choke point for ships traveling between the Western Pacific and the disputed South China Sea, and is likely to be used by China in case of hostilities. The visit highlights the importance of fortifying our territorial defense capabilities to ensure our nation's overall safety and integrity, read the military statement. To protect stakeholders such as fishermen and other maritime-related agencies for them to feel safer. Teodoro also asked for enhanced collaboration between local government units and the military. In addition to military measures, the U.S. and the Philippines are pursuing diplomatic initiatives to address the underlying tensions in the region. Through multilateral forums and diplomatic engagements, both nations are advocating for a rules-based order and peaceful resolution of disputes in accordance with international law. As tensions continue to simmer in the South China Sea, the collaboration between the United States and the Philippines in the Luzon Strait underscores their shared commitment to regional stability and maritime security. Stay tuned for more updates on this evolving geopolitical landscape. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for the latest updates on global affairs and geopolitical developments. Thank you for watching.